Prime Coral Prevent RTN boosting protocol. We have found that boosting the treatment is going to result in dramatically better reduction of RTN parasites in your system. The initial dose is measured out and calculated based on your actual tank water volume. Use the calculator on the Prime Coral website to calculate your actual water volume. Do not assume that the tank capacity is the same as your actual water volume. And make sure you add in all tanks plumbed to the same system through a sump, as well as the sump volume. We typically will add our initial dose to a bucket of tank water, measured out so that that amount of tank water will run into the sump over a 30-minute period. You want your dosing on the initial dose to run into the sump over a 30-minute period. Make sure that it's running into an area where there are no fish. All time points are going to be based on the start of the initial dose treatment. Turn back your skimmer outflow valves 2 full turns to reduce the bubble column within the skimmer. Keep your skimmers running, as skimmers are necessary to oxygenate the water. Next, remove the lids off the skimmer, or remove the head of the skimmer completely. This will allow the copious amount of foam that's produced during the Prime Coral Prevent RTN in-tank treatment to flow out of the skimmer head and back into the sump where it belongs. Make sure you protect your equipment from any overflow bubbles. Treatment 2 will be on day 3. It's going to be your initial dose, and you're going to add a booster dose of 10% of the initial dose. The booster dose is added once again to the sump. You want to add your Prevent RTN booster dose. It can be added quickly, usually within 5 minutes or less, to an area where there are no fish. Treatment number 3 on day 5, once again, you're going to be adding another booster dose. This second booster dose will be 2 hours after the start of your initial dose, or 1 hour after the first booster dose. Treatment 4 on day 7, we're going to increase the first booster dose to 20% of the initial dose, and treatment 5, we're going to increase the second booster dose to 20% of the initial dose. By the time you finish increasing your booster doses, they'll be at 20% of the initial dose, and at both 1 hour and 2 hours after starting the in-tank treatment. What you can expect, here's a picture of a microscope of a Philaster. You can see that the Philaster parasite is disrupted, that the zooxanthellae are coming out of its body. That is dead Philaster. And we found that with boosting, we're able to eradicate approximately 99% of all RTN parasites, Philaster, out of the water column of the system. This is each dose, 99%. Remember, however, that infected corals will be releasing additional Philaster into your water column. This is why you need to judge for your system depending on the number of infected corals and how the treatments are progressing using Prime Coral Dip, Stop RTN Dip, and Prime Coral Prevent RTN. Here you have a microscopic view of another Philaster. You can see up at 12 o'clock it's disrupted and its membrane is dissolved. The zooxanthellae have come out of the organism and are now laying around the organism. Remember that each treatment does not kill 100% of the Philaster, but it kills, eradicates out of the water column close to 100%. So it requires multiple treatments. If you want to know how many treatments your system requires, it's just a matter of monitoring your system and looking for any signs of disease on corals or new corals that are being infected. We also recommend the use of 50 micron filter socks as well on all returns or drains to your sump. Once again, this is the boosting protocol for Prime Coral Prevent RTN in-tank treatment.